Good afternoon and welcome to the next instalment of the workshop with. And we're here with Lee Fairhurst in the workshop, and we'll be having a chat with Lee in a moment. Usual things about his previous race experience prior to Formula One. Ask him about how the results went last year, work that's been done on cars, etc. And we're of course going to be asking him what his abiding memories of the World Final win back in Skegness were as well. Anybody who's watching live, please do send me any questions if you've got any. I've got quite a few off the Facebook pages and Stuxnet as well. So we'll be asking those Lee in a second. Interesting to see how many people will be watching live, seeing it's the first one we've done during the week. But with all the other events that are coming on during the next few weeks, I'm going to be running out of time and this might be the last one. But we'll come back to that in a second. I just want to firstly quickly mention the Motorsport with Attitude show, which is this weekend. So don't forget, this weekend down at the Peterborough Showground. Please do come down, support it. There's a lot of time and effort gone into these shows. Up to 350 cars will be on display of various formulas. Mostly oval, but there's some other stuff as well, BTCC, etc. So do please get yourself down to the show. And also, don't forget, if you've not signed it yet, do sign the Bellevue Save Bellevue Stadium petition and have a look on the website and on the Facebook page for that as well. So we're going to have a good little chat with Lee. So first of all, let's grab hold of him and say good afternoon, Lee, and thank you very much for doing this.
How are we doing, all right?
I'm not doing bad, mate, not doing bad. So we'll just come down to see how you're doing over the weekend. You look like you're pretty busy. Yeah. And just give us a quick overview of, first of all, prior to F1 then. So we had a question off a gentleman called Darryl, who mentions about when you first moved over from Formula 2 to Formula 1. But even prior to that, did you have any racing before the Formula 2s?
I was always, obviously I always grew up watching my dad race, and usually like the kids when they knock her out racing from 10 to 16, they're usually straight into the minis. Mm-hmm. And I played football for Bolton Wanderers Academy at the time. Right. So I signed a contract with them, and it didn't let me. I weren't allowed to actually take out a racing licence. Right. Although I did do one meeting like on the quiet at Skegness in Danny Wayman's spare car. But yeah, I had a rip round in that, but obviously didn't race anything from 10 to 16. Right. Okay. And then 16 got released from the academy. Mm-hmm. Got a few offers from other clubs and stuff, but my heart wasn't in it at the time. Yeah. So yeah, what did I do then? Oh, Gary Maynard offered me his F2 to have a drive. Because obviously you could race F2s then at 16, but not F1s. Okay. Obviously, if I did minis, I would have been able to do it at 16 as well. Yeah, F1s, but yeah, that come about, and we ended up going for a practice day with Gary up there at Buxton, and loved it. Okay. I actually jumped in it first time. The only thing I'd driven before that was a go-kart really, and never really did anything else. But obviously jumped in the F2, and straight away I was fast, and Gary obviously saw that and saw what potential I had, and obviously my dad wanted me to do it then. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, we had a good few meetings with the F2. Probably did about, I can't remember to be honest, but 8 to 10 meetings the first years we did it. Okay. And how long did you race the F2 then? How many seasons did you do? I didn't ever do a full season. Okay. But I did probably 15 meetings in the back half of one season, and probably 15 meetings at the start of the other one. Okay, yeah. And then obviously by then I was 17 and pushing for an F1 licence because I'd reached obviously competence in the F2s to get experience. Okay. Obviously F2 stood me in good stead, because I'd never even driven anything before. Yeah. Trackcraft and racing with other cars, and obviously contact was all new to me, so. Yeah, good learning experience, and I think it steadied me and put me in good stead for jumping up into the ones. Okay, and what year was it when you came into the ones then? Can you remember? I did the gala night, I think, at the back end of 2008. Okay. At a wet Birmingham. I can't remember much of that, to be honest, like results-wise or anything, but after that, obviously I was using my dad's car, and that winter, it was the first time really I just got stuck in and got my hands dirty and actually fully stripped the car down with my dad and rebuilt it and painted it up and what have you, and brought it out. And I think it was a 2009 speed weekend at Skeggy when I first came out. Yeah. and obviously that weekend was a really good weekend. And won first meeting, Eton final. Was going to win the national, but I got diff went.
Right.
And then second meeting was that meeting on the gears and tiers.
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
Frank won the UK Open, I got second. 2 heat wins as well there. So it just went from there. Really, it went from we never really planned anything with the F1s. It was just obviously my dad had all the gear and just set up with that, and we just wanted to have a bit of get me in it and have a bit of fun and obviously share the driving. But I think once I started in it, I started winning a few races. My dad just kind of thought, well, hang on a minute, it's going to be good sort of thing. So obviously he's give me all the backing he could give me, which I'm obviously very thankful for.
So starting in 2009, as you said, with your win at Skegness, that sort of put you in good stead for something that happened just 3 years later then, wasn't it? At the World Championships.
Yeah, obviously starting out I was just doing all tarmac racing, and we didn't really have the budget or the funds to do two cars and all the meetings, shale and tarmac. So with the tarmac being a bit cleaner and a bit less work, we just stopped it for the tarmac, and I was enjoying my time. Obviously had a good first year, 2009. Won a few races, won the European at the end of the year from Red.
Yes, yeah.
And then I don't know, I can't remember what happened after that. I think 2010 was a quiet year. 2011 UK Open Championship, and then after the World Championship. Yeah.
So that first year, 2009, that probably just showed that you are like a duck to water then by winning the European in your first year. I can't think of many drivers who have done that at all, winning a big championship in their first year. Any abiding memories of that particular night of the European?
Yeah, it was only like 3 months into it was 3 months after I started racing to win because I won it from. I jumped straight to blue the month after white, and it won't let me go to superstar. But then back time, the month after, I had enough points to get red. So I was at red for the European, and obviously being against such experienced drivers like Andy and Stuart Smith and Frank and everyone, I just wanted to try and get a good position in my first real proper championship. And it was soaking wet, and the car was just on rails. Really, it just drove itself round, and
it was good. Yeah,
it was a good
brilliant
experience and good feeling to win championship.
So let's jump forward 3 years then. That world final evening, that was amazing. Basically, you started in the consolation semi, came third. I bet you're a bit gutted first of all at that point of thinking just that one more spot would have got you on the back of the track.
Yeah.
But then, what happened with your dad's car? There was a problem with the engine or something?
It's weird looking back at it how it all turned out now, but obviously I did the consolation, got third, and whilst I was prior to that, my dad was practicing in the car for the world final practice because he was on the back of the grid. It was weird how it all turned out before that actually, because obviously with being in the semi-final at Birmingham, my dad was in the semi-final, I was in the semi-final, and I was leading the semi-final, and had a fault with the fuel tap, and the fuel tap snapped shut, and obviously didn't realise at the time what had happened, and the car cut out.
Right.
And my dad was running 11th at the time as I was winning, so when I pulled off, that made him into 10th, and he qualified.
Right.
Obviously, big believer now that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Obviously consolation got third, and then my dad was practicing during the day, and kept having problems starting the car, and then it got worse and worse every time we went out, and it put it down to a knackered ring gear.
Right.
And every time we tried to start it, where the engines, they always end up at the same tooth on the flywheel.
Okay.
So it was always in that point where when he was trying to start it, if he stalled it or did anything, he couldn't get started again.
Right.
So obviously, with that being, we knew what Skegness World Final was going to be about, and there's going to be a bit of carnage. So if there was a situation like there was the track blockage and he was stranded in the middle of the track, he was going to get collected and what have you. So
it wasn't worth the risk.
It all made sense really, because he was starting near the back, and I had a full Alfie car. He had an 80% car, and I think it was Peter Fording that turned around to him and said, "Think about it. Like what are you doing? Like Lee's got potential to win it from the back. You haven't," sort of thing. To put it bluntly, he
straight to the point.
So that's what happened, and I was the very last car on the grid.
Yeah.
Obviously, the the restarts helped me and the yellow flags, but it was all just about getting closer and closer to the front. And I just remember being completely like relaxed and not nervous at all. Like usually I'm a bit nervous before a big race and edgy, and you know, want to impress and I want to do the business. But I just remember being just completely like stress free. Yeah. And every yellow flag happened, I was getting more and more up there. I was getting more and more confident.
Well, I was going to say, do you think that's because maybe you were starting at the back and you didn't have any expectation really of getting near the top? Because usually world finals are just, especially on tarmac, they can be quite processional and it's difficult to get up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as we all know, it was like a banger fest, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so at what point did you think in the race, did you think, I've got a chance here?
Yeah.
I can, if I really go for it now.
When I first started, I thought, if I get into top 10 here and I finish at top 10, I'm going to be more than happy.
Yeah.
That's going to be my goal, sort of thing, from starting 36 or whatever it was. And then the restart happened, and then a few more cars were off, and then each yellow flag, I think the first yellow flag I was up into like 15th or 16th maybe. I thought, right, we're on for it now. Like, if we have a race till the, even if no yellows come out here, I've got the quick enough car to get through people and get going. And then one more yellow flag and I was in the top 10, and then the last yellow flag, obviously everything happened and I was up into second behind Mark Gilbank, and that's when I just sat on the start finish line and thought, right, if you're ever going to do it, this is your time to do it.
Yeah.
You know, everything's happened now, and you put yourself in a position to win. So obviously when Dan got past me and got stuck into Mark Gilbank, I thought this is my cue to
this is your time.
Make a move and get gone.
Yeah, brilliant. So let's bring it up to a bit more up to date then for last year then. Funnily enough, talking about world finals and everything, and the last one was at Skegness, completely different world final, wasn't it? Like, as a fan, I've got to admit, it was pretty boring.
Yeah.
But as a driver, how was it for you, the last world final? Because you won the semi-final in the rain, really well. You've also shown how you can race in the rain, of course.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it was a completely different world final last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think everyone expecting the same sort of thing, and to be honest, I was as well. But it's just not how it goes sometimes, is it? Sometimes it's just one of them races, and Stuart was quick enough to get away and lead from the front, and that's what he's done. Fair play to him. In other races, it only takes one incident at the front to make it into that sort of race, if you know what I mean, to get everyone else involved rather than someone racing away from the front.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what it was, and I think everyone weren't expecting that, but it was what it was, and
it is what it is.
Stuart won, and that's it.
Okay, and some of the other results as well. It's quite surprising that we talked about it a moment ago. You didn't have any final wins last year.
I won one in Holland at St Martin, won a final there, but no, I didn't stint with one in England. No. But
we had the 8 heat wins, the Grand National, and then of course we had the under 25s win as well, which was a really nice touch. Yeah. Because you've got lots of connections with the family, haven't you, with the under 25s?
Yeah. Obviously that was good. I just never really had a bang average year really on both surfaces. Hopefully this year we can put a bit more time in here and get a few more wins.
Excellent. Well, we're going to go on to what we're working on at the moment then. Okay, there is one behind me which we're not going to show because it's something, a project that you're going to be doing. So we'll just say there's a chassis there. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all we're going to say. Yeah, brilliant. So let's have a look at what we've got in the corner here first. So this is the show car.
Yeah. So my show car.
So obviously lots of bits missing. And what's the engine that you're going to be putting into this one then?
It's the same what's come out of it. It's just it needs a bit of a refresh before the start of the year. Just had a bit of issue with, I think it's going to be a carburettor issue. Okay. But he's obviously looking into that, the engine builder at the minute, and we're going to get that rebuilt. I'm unsure really. I don't think I'll be out for the start of the year in it, but I'm unsure. Obviously, once we get the engine back, we'll be out. But it's all depending on that. And as you can see, we've just chopped all the bent steel off and new steel ready to go on there. To be honest, I haven't really touched this car. This is due to, like, my dad's took the engine out and the lads have come down at night and done the chopping for me. So now really it's just my job to get the welding steel done and put it all put back together. Yeah.
Okay. And any sort of changes onto the actual chassis or onto the axles or anything like that? Or are you having more sort of same setup as last year?
No, I found a pretty good sweet spot with it at the end of last year. I was pretty happy with how it was going. So aside from tidying it up and replacing stuff, it's nothing really going to be any different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the next car in a second. I've had a couple of questions come in. Dave Durans, I don't know if you know him. He says, "Where's his £2 from Birmingham?"
Lost it.
You've lost it, that's fine, no problem. And somebody called Daniela Duran. Good luck in the upcoming season. Some titles for this year would be well deserved.
Yeah,
of course.
thank you very much.
Okay, so can we look at the next one? Is that right, looking at that one? So I'm just got to, conscious of what drivers want us to look at the moment, you see, because obviously there's bits and pieces that some drivers don't want us to have a quick look at the moment anyway. So tell me about this chassis here, what's this one about?
Yeah, it was, I built a car for Koen Maris in Holland last year. And this is the sister car to it that I built side by side with it. Obviously planning it for my new shell car basically.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously with I can't really carry on with it because I haven't got the funds to work on it and buy all the parts for it. So it's kind of on the back burner and something I'm gonna maybe carry on with in a few months. But I don't know really, just a bit undecided what to do with it.
And the one in the corner, what's the history behind this one then?
Yeah, that's Michael Stewart's. He shares the unit with us as well, so obviously we garage together. And Michael's he's had a year out last year, and this is obviously the engine's out of it. We're going to start cutting the bumpers and nerfs off it and doing whatever needs replacing. Pretty much same as what I did with my old tarmac car really. Whatever needs replacing it, we're going to do on it and get the car ready for him. And if he wants to carry on this year, obviously got a baby on the way, so he's a busy lad.
Other priorities.
Yeah,
of
so
course.
With work as well, he's very busy. So.
Yeah. So we've had a couple of questions. Rob Keeley and Roy B have asked basically the same question, which I think you just answered anyway. New builds on your own, which obviously you just said that this hopefully one might be your own shell one.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, but it's just obviously funds and time permitting. It's not something I can just get on with because I haven't got the I need to sell really one of the others to carry on with this. But obviously I want to race that this year, and we were going so well at the end of last year.
So obviously, if anybody's interested in purchasing one of your vehicles, to get in touch with you. Yeah,
that's always the case, isn't it? Everything's got a price.
That's it, no problem. Bazza's been in touch, asking about Triggers Broom. Believes it's been rebuilt, etc. And what's your plans with that one?
Yeah, that's currently in the university at Bolton. They have a motorsport university there, so I'm sure you saw it on our pages and stuff. Yeah. But it's probably been in that state probably the last 6 months of last year. But obviously we've just not done anything with it because we've been busy racing Shale and the other car on tarmac. So yeah, got the phone call off them and they wanted to display it there, which is
really good.
Publicity for the sport and good for people seeing it. And I think I'm going to go down maybe in a few weeks or whatever and do a bit of if they want to ask any questions about it and have a talk to students and try and get them down for a meeting as well.
Brilliant, excellent.
Good.
And then you've got another car just down the other edge down here. Is this the Van Spiker, somebody calls it?
Yeah, the Van Spiker.
The Van Spiker one, yeah. Okay, and this is just down here. So tarmac,
Sorry about the mess.
No, don't worry, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, obviously this is a tarmac car I used last year. This is as I raced it from the under 25s at Gala night. I obviously did the final with it. And, got a bit of damage on the front end and the back bumper, and I'm going to start to probably make a start on this weekend and tidy it up again.
Yeah, I can tell you've not touched it.
There's a few bent bits.
Brilliant.
Like I say, we're going really good at the Gala night, and we made a few changes for that night, and it's really paid off. So I think moving forward, hopefully we can just like same as the other car, tidy up, get it racing again, and I think it's got all the potential to do what we want.
Okay, so as we've looked at both your cars, I think that brings us on to the next question that we've had from Andy and Richard. What are your thoughts about how the sport is in relation to having to have two separate cars? Do you think it could be helpful where if we go towards maybe having a dual service car?
Obviously, it'd be cheaper to run, yeah. It's just how far people want to go. You know, like you might get someone with all the time in the world during the week to replace everything that they can do from make it better on tarmac or better on shale. You'll get them sort of drivers who will get that benefit. Okay. People who just want to go and race for the pure fun of it, and just turn up and be competitive. Okay. You'll get the opposite side to that, where they won't have as much time and money to put into it. If you get what I mean, it's a difficult thing to police as well. But
do you not think if they brought the regulations closer together for each type of car, that would stop those changing things too much and spending money on it during the week?
Yeah, I think it's definitely helped the last few years with the changes that, obviously, with the control stuff that we've brought in. But yeah, like I said, there's always going to be some people who's got more time and money in their hands to do whatever they want with the cars. So it's a difficult thing. It's just how it's evolved, really. Yeah. And yeah, it's how you put in a system to make it better. Unless you've got a clear thing what you could come up with, then you can't really say yes or no.
Right. We had a question off Ian Burnett. What's the idea of tyre stagger for tarmac, and how do you measure it? So obviously we've got stagger gauges and everything, but what's the reasoning behind having the stagger on a car then?
We've got lock differentials, so obviously that makes it hard. If you have equal sized tyres on the back, it makes it hard for the car to rotate through the corner. So obviously the more stagger you have, the more it'll try to rotate, and then you'll see drivers in the pits between races like stagger sticks or stagger tapes.
Tell me about it, yeah.
it's a pretty... Once you've got... If you're happy with your car setup and your springs and what have you, it's probably the easiest thing to tune at the track to try and change how your car feels or handles. Okay. And you'll see different drivers using like rally tyres on the left front and tarmac tyres on the left front. Obviously there are pluses and minuses having them as well, and some tracks suit them more than others, and obviously you can imagine you've got probably 4 inches difference in size across the front tyres as well as the back if you have the rally tyre. So it's just how you want to tune your car and how it feels, really.
Okay. Don't know if you want to say hello to your mum. She's watching.
Hi, Mum.
Hey, Mum. And there's maybe a bit of banter here for the boxing, which we'll come back to in a second. Jack's asking, why do you look so happy?
Because I know I'm going to beat you up. That's why I look so happy.
We'll come back to that in a sec, yeah? Excellent. So you've just come back from New Zealand. How did that go?
Yeah, I had a really good time. The team racing could have been a lot better results-wise. But obviously when you consider what we're competing against and what we've got, I think we do well to get there and compete with the best of what New Zealand has to offer. Went for the 240s at Rotorua. I had a slight problem with one of my cars in the practice night, and then Peter Bankston, who you might remember raced my shell car at the Masters meeting. Yeah. He didn't qualify for the 240s, and he kindly offered his car for the following day for the finals night for me, which is obviously like really good, it's like jumping in my car over it. It's one of the best cars, so I was very grateful for that, and it was nice to be so competitive out there. It took me a race to get used to just the car and the feel of it, but by the second and third race I was bang on pace.
Brilliant. And how do you think the new lads went? Because there was a couple of new lads, I think, weren't there, in the team? Yeah. How do you think they went, and how did they cope with the racing over there? Yeah,
we gave them all a run on the week before at Napier as a practice team race there.
Yeah, I saw that,
before the actual team weekend. And me and Frank sat out of that and then give all 3 of them, and there's Bobby G as well, 3 a run. They lost that race, but obviously when we watched it back, there was so many things they did wrong, but so many things they did right as well. So I think you could take more from that than they would if they just did everything right and went on and won.
Learn from the mistakes, sort of thing.
You know what I mean? But it's a hard game out there. Believe me. I mean, a lot of people will be saying, "Oh, who should be in this?" and he should be in it, he should be in it, and why is he not in it? But I know, like,
you've got to have a big set to do it.
Me, like, yeah, it's a brutal game, and a lot of drivers would just freeze on the big stage over there, I think. But I mean, a lot of drivers will do good as well. But it's not just on the track racing to think of when they're selecting a team. And I've seen it firsthand what goes on involved in the team and what needs to be done, and through the week and stuff like that, and you know,
A lot of planning and
it's
strategy,
it's a
etc.
hell of a lot of work, and it's all like self-funded through Team GB. It's nothing to do with anything else, but it's self-funded, and obviously with the funds how they was last year, we were struggling a bit, and it might not have been run Team GB this year gone. But hopefully we'll be in a bit better scenario for next year and see where we go from there.
Brilliant. So I've had a question from one of our Dutch friends who's watching live at the moment, Gus Jansen. I think I'm hopefully saying that right. Hello, good job going on. Can you ask Lee what his goals are? As he's won the British, Euro and the world now, it's time for Venway Gold. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll be going. Hopefully we'll be going and trying. Obviously, I'd like to compete at all the major championships this year and give it my best shot. Obviously, Gold Cup being one of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's probably been on my list of things to do for the last couple of years, but you know, it's such a fast track and a fast pace over there, and it suits a lot of the bigger engines. Mm-hmm. So we'll just have to see how we're set up for this year.
And any plans on doing any sort of dirt racing over there, maybe Texels or anything, or?
Yeah, nothing planned in particular, but I'm definitely going to do a few meetings over there, whether it be, I don't know about the Texel, but I went to St Martin a few times last year. I really enjoyed that. Good track, good bunch of drivers to race with, and good hospitality.
Brilliant. So let's come away from Brisca. If we just walk back this way a bit more, if you want. What if you weren't doing Brisca? Any other form of motorsport that you'd want to be involved in at all, or you'd like to have a go at now you've done what you've done in Brisca?
Obviously, with oval racing and contact racing in general, I think Brisca F1 is the pinnacle, and I'm fully enjoying what we're doing here. But obviously, there's always other options and other things to do. It's not just about stock car racing, but you know, some at circuit. Me and Jacqueline went for a track day with someone at Oldham Park last year and something, and I'd never really driven on a track in anger properly, a circuit track. Yeah. I took to that straight away. I really enjoyed that, and it'd be good to have a drive or something on the circuits. Yeah, but obviously it's I think compared to the circuit racing game, F1's is a cheap form of motorsport compared to what them lads are spending, but it's each to their own, isn't it?
That's it. And what interest do you have away from Brisca Formula? You said you used to play a bit of football. Do you still do that at all? Or what other interests have you got away from, if you've got time anyway, away from Brisca F1?
Yeah, that's the thing. When you do Brisca F1, you don't leave a lot of time for other things to do. It just becomes part of your life, doesn't it, and takes over sort of thing. But I used to be well into the football, playing it and going watching, but yeah, since I've started racing these, you just don't get a minute, do you? So.
And did you ever think back when you talked about you got released by the club? Did you ever think back and think, God, I'd wish I'd gone to another football team now, knowing how much they get paid these days and stuff?
Yeah, I kind of do, and I don't really, because at that time my just heart wasn't in it, and I didn't want to. I had offers to go either and everywhere, and my dad said he didn't put any pressure on me whatsoever to do anything. He just said do what you want to do at the time, and just at the time I just didn't want to do it. I got signed up when I was 7 or 8, and I played all the way up to 16, and literally like 3-4 times a week I was doing it. So it just becomes a
chore rather than enjoying it. Yeah,
chore rather than a pleasure. So just at the time I wasn't. I got released and I wasn't in it.
And then just finally coming back to Brisca, how do you feel that coming into the new season, we've got problems possibly with Bellevue, possibly Birmingham the year after that. How do you think the sport is and the current health of the sport, and what do you think about how it's going to feel in the next few years, different tracks, etc.? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's never good to see another track closing, is it, or potentially closing. We need as many tracks as we can, and I think the promoters need the drivers and the drivers need the promoters. We need to work a bit more together rather than against each other, and it's a two-way street, isn't it? Yeah, but like I say, it's never good to actually see tracks potentially closing, especially like my local one, Bellevue. Yeah. obviously try and support that as much as I can through the year when my engine's back, and hopefully it doesn't close, but it's not looking good, but hopefully we can try and save it.
So get that petition signed is the message, isn't it?
And hopefully we can do our bit to try and keep it going.
Brilliant. And then just lastly, sponsors. So anybody you'd like to thank for sponsorship help, or who's helped you over the years? Give some names and stuff.
Yeah, but obviously everyone on the car has their input and help to what we do at weekend, and without them I wouldn't be racing. And people like obviously my mum and dad and everyone like that, and everyone who comes at weekend to help, whether just anything they do, like literally little things, just helps us, and it saves me. If they do a little job here, it saves me doing it. I can do something else, and it just saves time and effort that way. And without it's like I've just built the car for Maris in Holland, and I had quite a few jobs left to do on it, and the lads have come down. I had to fly to New Zealand, and a few little jobs left to do on it, and also my dad's been helping, and the lads have helped in that way, so obviously a big thanks to them. And obviously all the sponsors have their input, and I can't list them all offhand because there's so many people who help us, but without them we wouldn't be racing, and it's puts in good stead.
Brilliant. One more question, a bit of a jokey one I think, well, looks for Andy Lomas. Ask him who he's had to purchase a flat cap and a whippet. Don't get that.
That's something to do with Lancashire, Yorkshire, but I think Andy forgets that he might be doing Gala Night again this year, so I might have to teach him a thing or two.
So I wonder, are you Yorkshire or Lancashire?
I'm definitely Lancashire.
Definitely Lancashire. Yeah. Good lad.
Yeah.
Well, we do appreciate your time. Really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Still, he keeps going on about his £2, so will you please give it him back so he shuts up about it?
Don't worry about it.
Because other people are now moaning that he's mentioned about it 4 times now, so he must
Only
need
4.
this £2. Yeah, no worries. But we do really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best for the season, of course. And we'll see you around the tracks on other chats. Brilliant.
Cheers, Brian. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. So before we go, just want to quickly just remind you all, don't forget, sign that Bellevue petition. We do really need to see what we can do. I don't think we'll stop it closing, unfortunately, but if we can maybe delay it for a couple of years, that would be of a massive assistance. Don't forget the Motorsport with Attitude show. I'll be doing a few videos from there, so do look out for those. And please do go and have a look at the show. There's about 350 cars in total are going to be either on display or in the live action area. So do come and have a look. And the entrance for the weekend is cheaper than just the car parking, I think, was at the NEC. So it is a very, very well-priced event that's on over the weekend. We've got a party night with Jakey doing the DJing. There's a band on as well. So it should be a really good social weekend. So if you can get down there this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So I'd just like to thank everybody for watching. We had some really good questions off everyone, some really good viewing figures. So thank you very much. This will be going on Facebook, YouTube, all the usual places this evening if you want to rewatch it and listen to what Lee's had to say about the sport, etc. So thank you very much, and we'll speak to you all soon. Thank you.